What is up, guys? It's the Great Wall back at again with another video. Today we are here with another 10-year sim. It is the Houston Astros. Boo! Anywho, the Astros are a decent team. They've got this little three-headed monster right here. Four if you want to count Josh Hader. But this team, they have some very good players, but unfortunately they don't have, I don't think, enough, especially starting pitching-wise, to make an actual deep playoff run. So if they make a couple trades, who knows? But I think this is a team that's going to fall short just a little bit early, especially when you consider the fact Christian Walker's probably going to end up going down. Same with Jose Altuve. So, yeah, I mean, this could go a few different ways, but let's see what they do, see how they do. So, yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a ton to me and my editor. We're getting closer and closer to 500 subs, and we really want to hit that as soon as possible. So, if you guys can help us reach that goal, we would appreciate it so much. But anyways, let's get back to the video. Let's see if they make any moves. Alright, the first deal they're going to make is Bryce Matthews, Xavier Neans, Brandon Walter, and Walter Janik for Pablo Lopez, Micah Bell, and David Festa. I don't mind this deal whatsoever. Alright, home run derby time. Let's see. Do they have anyone? No, they don't. Hold on. Angel Martinez has 30 home runs at the All-Star break. What are we doing? Good for him, I guess. Who do we have as all-stars? Jeremy Pena doing a great job. No Hunter Brown. Brian Abreu is here. Josh Hader is here. Do we have anyone else? It does not appear. Well, obviously we saw Jeremy Pena already. Do we have anyone else other than that? Does not appear so. So, yeah, let's see how they did draft-wise. Alright, they're going to trade away Will Bush for Willie Castro. Definitely an interesting move, to say the least. They actually had a pretty solid draft. They have 3 guys with 80 or higher, 1 guy with 90. So, yeah, hopefully they can develop some of these guys. Alright, so they finish off strong, 94 and 68. Just missed out on a bye, it looks like. Seattle leads the league. Wow. And the craziest part is they swept us. Well, they took 2 games from us in the last week, so that's pretty much what changed it. Jeremy Pena led the league in doubles. Josh Hader delivery man of the year with 50 saves, not bad. Let's see how the rest of the team did here. Pena with a 5.9, Correa with a 3.9, Willie Castro 3.2, Paredes 3.2, Jake Myers with a 3.1, good for him. Diaz with a 2.6, Jordan with a 2.3, Jose Altuve with a 1.8, Zach Cole with a 1.7, and then yeah, the rest of the team kind of filling out from there. Obviously, we saw Hader. I mean, pitching staff did pretty well. 5 blown saves out of Hader. Needs to be a little bit better, but that's fine. Hunter Brown with a 4. Ronel Blanco with a 1.8. Javier with a 1.4, as well as Hader and Brian King. Tatsuya Imai in his rookie year with a 1.1. So, yeah. Let's see if they can, do some damage in the postseason. They're going to move on to Seattle. Okay, so they sweep so far. And they lose. They were 1 game away from the World Series, and the Dodgers killed them. All right, see if they can make a couple moves this offseason and really kind of make this team a little bit better. All right, so it looks like they did lose Brian Abreu, Willie Castro. I mean, nothing too bad. They re-signed George Springer, Jahmai Jones, Gavin Lux, and I don't think they made the correct moves. So let's see what they can do. All right, we're at the home run derby. How is the team doing? Okay, Isaac Paredes is here. That's not bad. That will definitely play. Okay, so we're currently 4 games back. We're not in a bad spot. Paredes doing a great job. Pablo Lopez is still here. I think he only has 1 year left. Yeah, hopefully they can re-sign him in the offseason. Josh Hader is here. We kind of assumed that would happen. Anyone else besides Paredes? Okay, Jordan Alvarez obviously also here. Was he an all-star last year? Did I miss that? I think I missed him being an all-star last year. Could be wrong, though. Okay, never mind. I was not wrong. He was not an all-star. Alright, hopefully the team can finish off strong, though. We do need to make it back to the playoffs. Alright, it looks like they're going to get Anthony Santander for Alonzo Treadwell. Yeah, I mean, Santander, decent guy. Hopefully he can help us do a job. He's not doing well now, but hopefully he can kind of figure it out here. Alright, incredibly meh draft. I mean, these 2 guys might be decent, like, backups, but other than that, nothing good here. All right, so huge down year. We finished 75 and 87. That was not what I was expecting. Isaac Paredes won a batting title, but it unfortunately wasn't enough for us to make the playoffs. Finished second for MVP, so good for him. Let's see how the rest of the guys did. Let us see. All right, 6-3 from Paredes, Jordan with a 5-2, Pena with a 4-6, Correa with a 2-9, 2-3 from Jake Myers, 2-2 from Yanier Diaz. So pretty decent numbers. Only 32 saves out of Josh Hader. So we just did not do well at all. 2-3 from Hunter Brown, 1-8 from Pablo Lopez, Amaya with a 1-5, Brian King with a 1-3, Bennett Sousa with a 1-1. But yeah, really just bad year. Hopefully we can make some moves this offseason or something. Okay, it looks like they're going to trade away Carlos Correa for Justin Robleski. I don't think I'm a big fan of this move, to be completely honest with you. Alright, so in free agency, they lost just about everyone. Wow. They got Brendan Donovan, Luis Robert, Jake Bowers, Jeff McNeil. I mean, just kind of meh. They didn't really get anything too fantastic, so we might be in trouble here. Alright, they're going to trade away Bennett Sousa for Kyson Witherspoon. And then they're going to... Wow, this might quite possibly be the worst trade of all time. They're going to trade away Josh Hader, 93 overall closer, probably one of the better closers in the league right now, for Jake Bennett. Can we fix the trade engine here, please, STS? You guys talked about the realism so much, but you're telling me Josh Hader isn't worth more than Jake Bennett. Okay, they're going to trade away Yanier Diaz and Anthony Santander for Dave Hamill, Josu Briseño, and Gage Workman. So just another god-awful trade. Like, they're getting rid of their best players for literally bags of chips. None of the stuff they're getting is going to help them. All right, we're at the home run derby. How are the guys doing? Jordan Alvarez is here. Sucks that we're losing him this offseason. Yeah, this offseason. So that sucks. See who we have as all-stars, though. No one off-rip. Hunter Brown is here. Do we also lose him this offseason? We do. So we're going to lose both Hunter Brown and what's-his-name in the same offseason, which I think is just... You know what? I'm not even going to say anything, because you know what? The Astros deserve to suck. How about that? But yeah, those are our only two all-stars, Jordan and Hunter Brown. So yeah, hopefully we can figure it out, but I think we don't have a shot because we just literally traded away everyone who's good on our team. So yeah. All right, they're gonna trade away Luis Robert Jr. for Luis Lara, Gavin Lux for Josiah Hartshorn. All right, we don't get anything good in the draft, so we might have another year of... We might be in trouble here, honestly. 72 and 90, so we fall further and further down. Hunter Brown, so good. Jordan Alvarez, so good. It sucks we're going to lose both of them this offseason. Hunter Brown wins a Cy Young. Jordan wins a Hank Aaron. Bo Bichette wins MVP, so good for him. Unfortunately, we're going to lose both of the players who won awards for us this year. I love this game. I love that they almost never re-sign their players in this game. It's so ridiculous. Jordan Alvarez with a 5-9, Zach Cole with a 4-9, Brendan Donovan with a 2-2, Cesar Salazar with a 1-6, Jake Bowers with a 1. Yeah, just really nothing to be too excited about. Hunter Brown with a 5, Imai with a 2-1, 1-3 from Mike Burrows and Spencer Arrighetti, 1-2 from Jake Bennett. Yeah, just another sucky year. I need them to re-sign their two guys, but I really doubt they do. All right, we lose Hunter Brown. That's nice. And we lose Jordan back to where he came from, the Dodgers. All right, so we obviously lost the big two we had. I didn't even know we re-signed George Springer. We signed Tanner Scott, and really nothing else. Wow. Yeah, we might be entering the poverty section of this sim, I guess. All right, they're going to trade away Jake Bowers for Josh Hammond. All right, home run derby time. Let's see. Nobody here. All right, that is just fantastic. Who do we have to also? Brendan Donovan is apparently really good in this game, so that's nice. Tanner Scott's doing well. Josh Hader would be nice if we still had him. Do we have anyone else here? I really doubt it. Obviously, we saw Brendan Donovan. Jordan Alvarez would have been nice to have on this team. But no, that's just about it. All right, let's finish off this year. Another probably bad year. They're funnily enough, we're gonna trade away Brendan Donovan and Ronel Blanco for Eddie Williams and Hyun Kim. So nice. All right, and just another really meh draft class. Like, we lost our two best players. Probably got these two were probably first round picks. these two were probably compensation picks, considering, you know, we lost 295s and plus. So yeah, we really just suck. I don't know what else to, any other way to put it. All right, we finished off a whopping 63.99. What I would say followed by, but capped off by a nice 9-game losing streak to end the season. Alec Thomas led the league in triples, so good for him. I'm sorry. Jeremy Pena wins the batting title, just not for us. Cam Smith wins a nice gold glove out there in right field. So good for him. I mean, he's probably about just capped out where he is, which sucks, but it is what it is. We don't really have a choice. 4-9 from Alec Thomas, 3-4 from Cesar Salazar, and a 1-7 from Cam Smith. That is just, it's just dreadful to watch. 31 saves out of Tanner Scott. I think he got about 9 since the All-Star break. 1-4 from Mike Burrows, a 1-1 from MI, and that is literally it. All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off, get through the offseason. All right, and of course now they're trading Cam Smith for this random bum. And they're gonna trade away Tatsuya Imai. Like, what is with the obsession with trading for C potential players that are never gonna develop into anything decent? All right, so we didn't lose anything in free agency. They did sign Patrick Bailey, Ha-Seong Kim, Taj Bradley, but there's really nothing good out of this, unfortunately. And they trade away Alec Thomas for Harper Wiggins. Actually, you know what? This isn't the worst move in the world. All right, we're at the home run derby. How is the team doing? Apparently not very well. Nolan McLean got traded, good for him. Who do we have as an all-star? I mean, we're 45 and 51, so we're not in the worst spot. Zach DiCenzo is an all-star, which means he will either get traded or lost in free agency. Bennett Sousa's here. Do we have anyone else? We're at the point where I don't know who's on our team anymore. Yeah, Zach DiCenzo. Good for him, honestly. Can't wait for them to trade him in a minute, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, hold on. This guy might actually be pretty good. So, it looks like they got at least one decent guy. These guys might be decent, but really nothing special. Alright, 73 and 89, which is, you know, obviously not very good. Bennett Sousa led the league in saves, which I guess counts for something. Jordan won a batting title, though. Bennett Sousa, delivery man of the year with 51 saves. Not a bad year for him, honestly. Let's see how the rest of the guys did. 5 out of Patrick Bailey's not bad. 2-7 from Nick York. Zach Cole with a 2-5. 2-3 from Cesar Prieto. Josh Kasevich with a 1-8. Ha-Seong Kim with a 1-4. And Zach DiCenzo with a 1-3. 51 saves out of Bennett Sousa. Like I said, honestly, really good season for him. 1-4 from Robleski, 1-3 from Taj Bradley, and a 1 from Bennett Sousa. Of course, they're gonna trade away Zach DiCenzo for Miles Carr. Nice. All right, we lost Bennett Sousa, Hayden Wesneski, and Ha-Seong Kim. We get Brian Rocchio, we get Anthony Volpe, Romy Gonzalez, and that's just about it. All right, so nothing too spectacular. All right, they're going to trade away Micah Bell, David Festa, and Tom Cosgrove for Theo Gillen and Santiago Cedeno. All right, home run derby time. Do we have anyone here? No, we do not. Yeah, I think our days of having home run derby members are over. No starters. Who do we have? Hunter Brown's a starter, though. Hunter Brown would be nice to have on this team. Honestly, I don't even have a guess as to who our all-star could be. Nick York is an all-star. Yeah, and that's literally it. It's just Nick York. That's actually insane. All right, let's finish off this year. We're officially more than halfway done, and we have not done anything since the first year. All right, incredibly meh draft besides this one guy. So, yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. All right, 76 and 86. We have not cracked more than, we haven't cracked 80 wins since the first year. And we are just not in a great spot whatsoever as a franchise. Nick York with a 4-3, Patrick Bailey with a 3-7, Josh Kasevich with a 3-5, Zach Cole with a 3-3, Theo Gillen with a 2-5, Luis Lar with a 2-4. Pitching wise, 37 saves out of Colton Gordon, which is crazy. He's actually starting pitchers, so yeah, it's kind of crazy. 2-7 out of Taj Bradley, Miguel with a 1-5, Spencer Arrighetti with a 1-4, as well as Thomas Harrington, and then Justin Robleski with a 1. So team is not very good. All right, Taj Bradley, Colton Gordon, Kaiwei Tang for Bishop Letson and Willie Batista. All right, they lost some okay players, nothing crazy. They signed Colson Montgomery, Connor Phillips, Chase Dolander, Javier Sonoja, Sam Antonacci. So I mean, they signed some decent players. Just don't really think that they have enough. Yeah, they're not even gonna make the playoffs. Who are we trying to kid here? This is not a playoff team. Home Run Derby. Do we have anyone here? And it's at our stadium. The answer is no, we don't have anyone here. Would have been cool. Who are our all? Wow. Wow. Just when you think it can't get worse, it does. Hunter Brown is an all-star, but not for us. Zebby Matthews is an all-star, but guess what? Oh, wait, this isn't the one we had. I thought that was the one we had. Okay, never mind. Losing my mind a little bit here. Who do we have as an all-star? Nick York again. Is Nick York Hall of Fame bound? Honestly, he might be. Who knows? Yeah, our team sucks. That's basically the premise of this video at this point. They're going to trade away Connor Phillips for Gio Gims. Okay, so I mean, this guy's decent, but like I said, we've got 3 years left. I don't think the draft is going to help us out too much. All right, we finished 57 and 105. I completely just like zoned out there, which is officially our worst finish. Yeah, we're not good. We're not going to be even close to good. The craziest thing is our hitters are doing well. 5 WAR from Colson Montgomery, 3.7 from Patrick Bailey, Nick York with a 3.5, Gillen with a 2.3, Cole with a 1.8, Luis Lar with a 1.7. Like, I mean, come on. Sonoja 1.2, Briseño with a 1.1. And it's just the pitching, I guess, is just letting us down. 13 saves out of our best relief pitcher. 3.4 from Dave Hamill, 2 from Yamashita, 1.4 from Miguel, 1.3 from Harrington and Robleski, Henry Stone with a 1.1, as well as Dolander. So I honestly don't know what the problem is. Clearly, I'm missing something here. All right, they're gonna cash in on Nick York and get Horace McCarthy. Yeah, this is nothing. They're gonna trade away Colson Montgomery for Cruz Schoolcraft. Just another. This is just not a good deal. All right, so like I said, we don't have anything to lose, but we signed Yohendrick Penango, sorry, Wickelman Garcia, and I mean, just really nothing that's going to help out at all. All right, Home Run Derby. Assuming we don't have anyone here, and that would be a... Why? Why do they always do that? Yeah, that basically sums up every one of these. Yamashita is doing a job. I mean, it took him forever to develop, but finally he's kind of, starting to make an impact. I'm pretty sure we drafted him in like year 1 or 2. So, do we have any other all-stars? I'm assuming it's probably a no. If I had to take just the wildest guess on earth. Yeah, no. We only have Yamashita, so it is what it is. Let's just get through the rest of the season. Okay, 83 potential, 67 overall. He might have a chance of actually making the MLB before this thing's over, but just really just an awful run of drafting for this team. As crazy as it sounds. All right, nice little 57 and 105. That'll play. Come on now. Exact same record as last year, which I think is crazy that they did the same thing twice and they were both really awful seasons. Do we even really need to look at this? Like, in all honesty, do we need to look at this? 3.7 from Zach Cole, Gillen with a 2.9, Bailey with a 2.8, Jensen Wells. I'm surprised Jensen Wells with a 1.3. Surprised Patrick Bailey has survived this long on this team, like without getting traded, because he's like actually semi-decent and could maybe not potentially Hall of Fame bound, but potentially Hall of Pretty Good bound. 29 saves from Wickelman Gonzalez is what leads our team. Hold on, my bad. Did not mean to go all the way back out. 2.6 from Henry Stone, Dave Hamill with a 2.5, Yamashita with a 2, and that's literally it. So, rough times, but yeah, let's go to the offseason. We have 2 years left. Just end my misery, please. All right, they're going to trade away Briseño for Derek Bullock. All right, they didn't lose anything. They signed Cole Young, Alec Boehm. Really nothing good. They have not signed anyone good this entire time. They're going to trade away Yohendrick Penango for Henry Chavez. All right, Home Run Derby. This is the last draft class we're stopping for. So, hopefully it was a good one. Yeah, none of our guys are there. Eddie Williams is an all-star. I guess that's probably going to be the only one we have. It looks like that will be the only one we have. Nice. All right. Another really bad year. There's really nothing else to say. Wow. They don't sign this Danny Kate guy who had 89 and 99 scouting potential. Then again, they drafted this guy who had the same thing and he only has 75. So, yeah, it's just a really terrible draft class. Kind of a great way to end this thing, honestly. They finished 70 and 92. What a season. We're finally back in the 70s. Eddie Williams. Bob Garland. Who are you, dude? Drafted in 2028. Looks like one of the guys that I wrote off. Sucks that they can't, do this stuff on a team that's actually winning baseball games. But it is what it is. Luis Lara with a 5.5. Theo Gillen with a 3.7. Jensen Wells with a 3.3. Bob Garland 2.7. Patrick Bailey with a 2.3. 1.4 from Benito Delgado. Yeah, just really, really rough stuff here. Went too far. 3.1 from Henry Stone. Eddie Williams with a 2.7. 1.7 from Schoolcraft. Yamashita. Hamill. 1.3 from Chavez. 1.2 from Harrington. 1.1 from Torres. And a 1 from Carlton Littleton. Last offseason, last year. Just let's get this over with. And they finally trade away Theo Gillen for Jamie Munoz and Trevor Lord. Alright, in the last offseason, we didn't lose anything too crazy. We signed Oswald Peraza, Bo Naylor, Jose Butto, just really nothing at all. Yeah, let's just get this shit show over with. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot we had Kyson Witherspoon. They're going to trade him away. Yeah, he was never really that great. And Felipe Chavez for 2 prospects. It's over. I mean, it was over to begin with. Alright, home run derby. Assuming we don't have anyone here, that would be a correct statement. What the hell? Alright, good for him, I guess. What? Yeah, I was gonna say what random player? Jensen Wells. All right, that's probably the only guy. It's our last All-Star break. Yeah. All right, let's just finish out the year. Just when you didn't think they could do it, they cracked 80 wins to finish this thing off. Good for them. Let's see who did what. 4.4 from Delgado and Wells. 3.8 from Bo Naylor. 3.7 from Peraza. 3 from Steven Gonzalez and Hartshorn. We got this guy literally in season 1 or 2. It's just crazy. Bob Garland with a 2. Pitching wise, 29 saves from Jose Butto, which is crazy. 2.8 from Henry Stone. Yamashita with 2.7. 2.1 from Dave Hamill. Eddie Williams with a 1.9. Telshaw with a 1.4. Schoolcraft and Cruz with a 1.2. Yeah, I mean, we sucked this entire time. This is probably one of the most boring videos I've ever had the pleasure of recording. So, yeah. Thank you guys as always for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace.